The tree of liberty has been thirsty for too long. I am the spark, the powder, the match, the shot that rang, the line in the patch. I am the night they tossed the tea, the oath they swore to die free. You can chain my hands, you can break my bones, but you'll never own my soul. I am the fire in the midnight sky, the reason tyrants die. I am 1776, lightning, thunder, iron, and grit. Every musket, every fist. I am 1776. Oh, 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 oh. I am 1776. I am the flag they tried to burn, the shot that made the empire turn. I am the rebel, the minute man, the ink that wrote we can. We hold these truths, hear my boots on the cobblestone, hear my war cry, shake the throne, hear my drum, you know it's near, your reign of fear ends here. I am 1776, lightning, thunder, iron, and grit, every musket, every fist. I am 1776. Oh, oh, I am 1776.
All right. All right. All right. I was Russian and Italian to get here on time. That's why the intro went a little long. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's Tuesday. It is December 23rd, 2025. We're getting there. It's almost Christmas time. Well, it is, but it isn't. You know, tomorrow begins the 48-hour, what I consider 2 great days. You wouldn't know it by seeing me, but I really enjoy the holidays, like more than, most people. I do. I love them. I love the festivities. I just don't like doing all the work setting it up. But I think next year I'm going to put lights up for the first time in my house. Well, in Florida. I used to do it in Arizona with my house. But yeah. Yeah, it's going to be an alien theme. Dirt? We'll see. Next year. But ooh, that drink, that really got me gizzarding. Right into the gizzard. Ah, it's good to be the king. What movie? History of the World. Boy, it seems quiet. Like there's a lot of quiet. Hold on, maybe because my fan is off. Usually there's like something going on in my headset, or maybe because I'm just more focused today. I don't know. Yeah, I slept well. Thanks for asking. Hope you guys had a good night's sleep. I see Dan Peters is here. How you doing? Welcome to the show. What's up, Dit.55? Dorothy, how you doing? Merry greetings to you. Welcome. RSA was watching Trish Reagan tight TT shot for being about 50. I don't know what that means, bro, but welcome to the show. Glenn Collins, Bernie Yates, everybody. I mean, what did I just say? Betty? Brian Yates. Dude, don't ask. I don't even know what I just said. Isn't that weird? Yep, that's weird. Yep. You know, it's time to put together the new chair. It's I got it last October 16th. No, it's together. It's just in the other room. I've been using it. Um Hopinson. Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Metalhead. Metalhead. Welcome to the show. Jeanette. What's up, JJ? What do you say? How do you be? The angel of goof on. David Wilcox. Not Wilcox. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Welcome to this show. Thank you, Hopinson. Hopinson. New person, right? Welcome to the show. All right, if I didn't say your name, it doesn't mean I don't love you. It means we have a lot of show to do. Boop. UFO 9159. What's up, UFO 9? What UFO 91_1? Welcome, Dano. I have an interesting, some interesting things to go over today. Probably just bang out an hour, in and out. It's not a really big news day. It's slow at this time of year, even though the 3-Eye Atlas is still making, a name for itself with, oh, did you see the weirdness today thing? I am so burnt out on it. I don't know if I should talk about it or even bring it up. We'll get to it probably. It's just, I don't know, man. Enough's enough already, right? There's nothing really going on with it. It is weird. There's some weird things going on with it. Yes, very much so. But nothing alien, and that's what we're here for aliens. Makes me a little sad. But we knew all along. We didn't get our hopes up. Although, we hope, we want Avi Loeb. Is he here tonight? No, not yet. He'll be here in a minute. Yeah, Avi Loeb did that with Oumuamua. Brought up that it could be a mothership because it's acting weird. Well, Oumuamua was weird. Any object that's coming from outside of our solar system, that's from interstellar space, isn't following the natural course of our elliptical, right? Everything in motion. What do they call that? No. Everything's no, not congruent. Perpetual motion. Thank God I remembered. Brian, I know, bro. Brian Yates says, weren't the aliens supposed to have been here already? 3-Eye Atlas is a spaceship, right? Right? No, it's not. Although there was a point, we played it last week with the video showing, well, no, we played it on the 19th, just a few days ago. It had a reflective surface, they think, like gold. It was reflecting a metallic gold-like surface. It's weird. I love this. I do. And I hate it because it's not alien. But what if it is? What if it was a probe? And it's also the signals coming from it, the impulses, the natural impulses from it, I should say, are weird, they say. You know why? Because it's not from our solar system, which is cool. I wonder where it came from. I want to know how long it's been out there. 10 billion years, maybe? We know it's at least 4 billion. Oh man, that's so cool. I wonder how many of these objects we've never seen before. Why are we seeing them in the last 10 years all of a sudden since 2017 Oumuamua? That's 8 years. It is weird, right? I'm thinking what year is it? 25. By 2029, 2030, we'll have another interstellar. 3 to 4 years. You'll see. They're going to keep them like a conveyor belt. Yeah, this is the process of learning interstellar stuff. This is how they do it. It's a slow process, peeps. And the thing is, the longer civilization stays afloat and we don't kill ourselves, we will learn so much about the universe. We just have to give ourselves a chance. That's what the Mayans did. And then they got what happened? What happened to the Mayans, right? A little greedy? Where are they? Where is everybody else, right? It's inevitable that we're going to have another collapse of a civilization. There's going to be too many people. There's not going to be enough resources. That was already supposed to start happening 5 years ago. I watched this 20 years ago. I watched this documentary on Discovery Channel, and they had 4 experts. One expert was in economics, another was geological, another one was astronomy, and another one was like an astrophysicist and all this, right? They had all these experts. You guys may have even seen this. And they were talking about how water is going to be the number one, more than any other gold, diamonds. That's going to be what we're going to need. We're going to run out of water. That was supposed to start already. Fresh water, drinking water. Why don't we just go to the ocean? The whole planet, 70% of the planet is water. It used to be expensive to desalinize, get the salt out of it, right? Now, Elon Musk says, no, it's not that expensive anymore. So let's do it. What are we doing? Think about how disgusting drinking water is, first of all. Fresh water. You know how many animals, fish, and dead things are in that water when it's in flow, going down? So much can go wrong. Yeah, I know they boil it at high temperatures and then they, I know. They'd use the reverse osmosis heating and all this other thing with chemicals, right? No, I don't know. But they make it so we could drink it. And if you look at water under a microscope, just don't. I'm just telling you not to. Because it's moving. I don't know. We have no choice. So, why won't the aliens help us? Can't. First of all, let's talk about aliens real quick. Evidence. What evidence do we have? We have very little physical evidence. However, if you were to gather all 70 plus years of evidence, let's just say the last 60 years, I'll even do you better. Let's start with Betty and Barney Rubble Hill. Let's start with them. And we'll start history after Roswell. We'll start it with Betty and Barney. Right? Yeah. Well, amazing story. Just the fact that they're a biracial couple in the late, was it 60s, right? In the South. Where are they from? I forget. But anyway, very racist area they grew up. They lived in. And they had this experience. And they did the hypno regress. And they both kind of said the same things. It was very, very, very compelling. Yet that story kicked off a barrage of others that copied? Or were they actually telling us what really happened and there was some sort of abduction scenario going on? Or when Betty and Barney Hill were getting abducted, maybe all these other people were being abducted at the same time. That's why so many stories came out. Oh my gosh, if those people, well, you got to hear what happened to me. This is amazing. Now, finally, corroboration. Hmm. But it goes before Betty and Barney Hill. You would agree with that, right? Aliens, the yeah, this chair's done. The folklore, the conspiracy started in 1947. Before that, there wasn't a conspiracy on UFOs. Isn't that weird? They drew them. You have your frescoes. You've got your cave paintings. I don't know. Maybe somewhere there is one. Something like that. You got a lot of evidence from the past. 1,000 years ago, 1,800 years ago, 2,000 years ago. Is that Christ? Holy macadamians. It is. Jesus H. Aliens. Possibly in the background during Jesus' birth. Or something. It's amazing stuff. I like hearing the skeptics. You know, the one with the beams coming down from the disc-shaped object, and the dog and the guy are like, well, you know, there's something up there, and there's a beam right down there by my feet. And the dog's with his tail, you know, and he's looking up at that too. I mean, to me, that looks like a UFO shooting a laser beam down. Anyway, just my lying eyes. So I have this theory why aliens are here, because there's just too many stories to say it's not real. Yeah, you know, there's a lot. It's tens of thousands of people have seen it. Millions have seen UFOs, right? So let's just cut the shit. UFOs could be anything. So you have to take that into consideration that 99% of the people have no idea what they're looking at. Half of 1% know what they're looking at, and the other half, well, they guessed right. So it's a real small percentage of people knowing what they're seeing and also determining whether it's important enough to call it a UFO or identifiable. So it's not a lot, yet we see sightings every single day. Every day is never-ending plethora of strange, high strangeness that I can't figure out for the life of me how they're doing it. Those fast white lights, they're not spotlights that are going so fast above the clouds. That ticks me off. I can't figure it out. Could it be what I think? I thought of this last night and I forgot to say it. Could it be there's, you know, when they have the low cloudiness fog, basically, and you see those streaks of light going, and I'm all excited. They're 40,000 miles, 40,000 miles an hour. There, I'm telling you, there's no beam coming from the ground. You know why? Because there's a drone that's above the clouds and it's got lights on it like a disco ball. And so it's hovering above everything, but it's spinning the lights from above. That's all it is. Like a chandelier. Yeah, that's all it is. Because you know why? Because it makes sense. So I think I cracked it. I think it's a drone with lights on it, like a disco light, you know, spinning lights, whatever you want to call it. And I think that's how they're doing it all around the world. So that is probably how they're going to use the these type of drones to create the artificial alien attack, the false flag operation. They're going to have drones above some cities. You know, you would imagine it would have to be cloudy, right? So what would they do to create clouds? Chemtrails. When there's chemtrails being sprayed, you'll see something's going to happen. If there's chemtrails in like very low chemtrails, I'm not talking about contrails. I'm talking about under 8,000 feet. These chemtrails, contrails, whatever you want to call them, the ones that they're going to spray out to create the atmosphere for these lights and this fake false flag alien event, they're going to be very low and they're going to spread out, and they're going to do it at night. And you're not going to see them spraying it unless you're off the coast or you're far away. And the wind is going to bring it and spread it out. They've mastered how to do this. And then we're going to have a very thin, it'll take about 5 hours over the night, about thin layer, just enough that you could park a drone a couple 100 feet above the clouds and have a light show. And nobody will know how it's happening. I don't see any spotlights on the ground, Ethel. Well, John, have you ever heard of Goofon? And then she teaches him about me. And he's like, that guy's pretty genius. That's right. I think I figured that out. It's good to be the king. I did. I figured that out. It's not UFOs. It's not drones going 40,000 miles an hour. It's just lights. I'm so glad I'm me. That's why we don't hear anything. All right. Got a bunch of things I want to look at. We'll get back to everything. I always bring it all back. David Wilcox, not Wilcox, sent me an Art Bell clip that has gone down in history as, well, we don't know if it's real, but if it is, holy crap. I don't know either. I don't think it's real. There's such a long story. I'm going to play the clip and then I'll talk to you about it. Thank you, David, for sending this. Yeah, I was really happy because I like this one. I really do. And, I've played it on the show probably 2 or 3 times over the years. And it's the same reaction. People think it's a real thing. This guy was an insider. What it is, this guy's flying an airplane. And he calls into the Art Bell show, and he's crying and he's like, you don't understand. They're taking the population and using them for food. Something like that. I'm not going to ruin it, but, and he's crying and you hear the airplane and Art Bell's like, so what are you doing? I used to work at Area 51 and they're coming. Art, the cry, that's what this is. And then a few months later on in the future, something happened. The guy came back and said it was all a show to see if he could fake it out or something like that. And he did the crying again, to show it was him. It's me. And he goes, and then, well, it sounds like it was you. So I don't know. But I didn't want to give away what happened because it's really cool. I didn't want to ruin it. But it's interesting. I don't know to this day if this is real or a really good fake. Go.
Okay, what we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be.
Right.
Hey, buddy. On the 11th of September, 1997, Art Bell
Wow,
on the
it's been
Coast to
that
Coast
long.
radio show received a phone call on his Area 51 line. This may be the single most iconic phone call ever made onto a radio program.
On my Area 51 line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art.
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
The caller claims that he used to work at Area 51.
Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
A former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago.
As soon as the call begins, this guy is already panicking. He's breathing quickly, it sounds like he's almost in tears, and he tells Art Bell that he doesn't have a lot of time to give his information before the authorities trace his phone call and find out where he is.
And I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really soon.
He tells us that what we call aliens are actually extra-dimensional beings, and they were discovered a long time ago by a precursor to the space program.
Okay, what we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be.
And they're evil. They've infiltrated every aspect of the military, including Area 51.
They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51.
And without any context or build-up, he just says that there's some sort of massive destruction coming that's supposed to wipe out a huge chunk of humanity, and they aren't doing anything to stop the destruction or save the population.
The disasters that are coming, the military, I'm sorry, the government knows about them. And there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now, Art.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.
And just as the phone call is starting to get good, the broadcast for Coast to Coast starts cutting in and out. We get
All right, let's stop there for a second. I want to throw in my 2 cents. Okay, sounds like he's acting to me. I always felt my instincts were right about this. Because look, it's 28 years later. Everything this guy said has not happened. Hasn't even come close to happening. Hasn't even been talked about happening. So maybe, just maybe, this guy changed the future by talking about it. Why not? Change their plans. You know what I mean? He didn't like change the future, like magically going back in time. I'm saying by talking about it, he saved the world or a certain swath of population. Why do they always do this and then nothing ever happens? Let's just say this. If something did happen, it would probably have to be 5 to 10 cities at the same time. 30 bombs. I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about, but it didn't happen. And thank God Fox Mulder got involved. All right. Interesting though so far. Yeah. Imagine. That's why I like going back in the past and seeing what we used to believe in or thought would happen. It's pretty fun.
a few more words and phrases from Art Bell and the caller, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's just dead air.
Right.
Discharged.
That's cool. That's weird. The satellite went down.
there is complete silence. The entire show got knocked off the air for about 2 minutes. Some listeners said that they then heard a rerun of Coast to Coast come on, an old interview from a previous episode. Either way, after about 2 minutes of this, the Coast to Coast theme song starts to play over the air again, and we can hear Art Bell come back. At this time, Art Bell doesn't understand what happened. He just said that he had to switch to a backup system because the entire show got knocked off the air.
This was certainly interesting. We are now on a backup system, everybody. And that one caller that I had on the air, I guess we were about in the middle of his transmission, his telephone call, which was one of the strangest ones I've ever had. And the entire transmitting system by satellite went down here, and we were notified we were off the air. And it would appear to be from this end and some sort of massive transmit failure. So we are now using a backup system to be on the air.
And
Yeah, me too, Nathan. I didn't hear it live. I wish I did.
network that syndicates the show
Good to see
switched
ya.
it over to a rerun while they were trying to figure out what happened.
Art Bell?
Yes.
What just happened there with the transmission?
Oh, well, what happened is the transmitter here blew its cookies in some way. Something knocked us off the air, and we're on a backup system now. And how far into the conversation was it when it went off?
Just a couple, about 15, 20 seconds, I'd say.
Oh, you
Something like that.
you guys missed. You really missed a call then, and I've got a feeling somebody didn't want you to hear it.
Yeah.
Whatever this was, whatever really happened here, this was genuinely one of the most terrifying moments in entertainment history. I cannot understate just how deeply this affected people back then. So, who exactly was this Area 51 caller? Was any of this even real? Why was the entire Coast to Coast radio show knocked off the air before this caller could finish his story?
There's more?
Radio or television before or since then. And even though it's been almost 29 years since the Area 51 caller, people still talk about this moment as if it's one of the most amazing things they ever experienced. I mean, this caller was very believable. His panicked voice really made the call seem convincing, and the things that he talked about were based on ideas that were already being discussed among the supernatural UFO and alien communities. Some people believe that aliens are not biological entities that evolved on another planet orbiting a distant star, but instead they're extra-dimensional beings that either live in a different universe or they exist in some kind of a spirit realm. This is an idea where science fiction and religion meet. I think the idea is that they're supposed to hate humans and they manipulate humanity into making self-destructive decisions, and these extra-dimensional aliens are supposed to be trying to engineer a way to wipe out.
Nah, you know why I don't buy that? That would take too long. That's too much of a wait and see what happens type of destruction. Nah. The humans are too smart for that. It would take too long. It may not work.
Out as many humans as possible, but they can't do this themselves because they can't directly interfere or interact with our reality. So instead, they offer useful information to various government and military groups that they can use to build technology or gain military advantages.
That doesn't make any
supposedly,
sense!
in exchange, these aliens expect these militaries to do their bidding to usher in their plans for our planet. The aliens give technology to the military, and the military has to do the aliens' bidding, I guess. This whole idea basically stems from the Abrahamic understanding of reality. It's mostly Christians that believe this kind of thing. Many religious groups think that
Wow, this is, I just wanted to hear the Art Bell thing. This is going on for a while.
communities, and it didn't get much exposure in the mainstream. I mean, it rarely even gets discussed in. It almost kind of sounded like this could have been a targeted attack against Art Bell's show specifically.
It could have been.
Creepy when you think about it, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the caller says, I don't have a lot of time to tell you this, they're gonna find me. And then not even 15, 20 seconds later, the entire radio station gets live stream or on a live show. It could be kind of awkward because you know that they're not really respecting this show. They're just there to try to get whatever kind of little bit of fame they can.
Reality.
Yeah, if that was the case.
Hold
a
on.
good showman by pretending, by asking Brian a question about something an earlier guest said about creating your reality with your thoughts?
Has it occurred to you, as Barbara Marx Hubbard suggested tonight, that perhaps if you're
Dude, look at that setup. I'm sorry, I'm just having a lot of thoughts right now. That's just insane.
what you say you are, you created the reality of the rest of the situation and took down my satellite.
That scares the heebie-jeebies out of me because it means that what I was saying was somehow correct, and it was fabrication kind of
creating a reality.
Yeah, if that was the case, I humbly apologize to you because I love your show, and the last thing I would ever want to do is
Knock
tear
me
you
off
off
the
the
air.
air.
And I think that Art added something really interesting.
Did you hear Art? Listen.
Is
Knock
tear
me
you
off
off
the
the
air.
air.
And I think that Art added
That was
something
funny.
really interesting and mysterious to this conversation. It's something fun to think about. And that's how I felt when I was younger, you know? That's what I thought back then. But looking back on it now, I think that it reveals that Art was scrambling to add anything to this conversation to make it interesting, because Brian was ruining his format and dispelling the magic of the Cheyenne. I think that Art complete lies. That B, maybe no. Network man. Maybe that original Area 51 call was fake, and the caller was just acting and putting together a hoax in order to gain some clout with the Coast to Coast audience. But maybe that call was intentionally cut from the air. Maybe also someone with some level of authority was concerned about the ramifications of having somebody that was so hysterical and believable telling millions of people that they might die in major population
That's
centers.
true, too.
And maybe Art Bell did not like Brian. He recognized him, knew exactly who he was, and he was intentionally avoiding having him come back onto the show to ruin it. This whole thing was probably not some conspiracy to cover up the truth about aliens and Area 51. This was just some radio drama that turned into some really good entertainment for those of us listening
That's
at
it.
home.
That's all it was. That's all it was, right? That's how I feel. All right. Thanks, David Wilcox, not Wilcox, for that. I'll put the link to that video in the show description. I didn't know if I was going to play it tonight, so I didn't throw it in there yet, but I'll do it immediately following tonight's live stream. All right. Hey, and by the way, I want to thank Jeanette for some support through PayPal. A little Christmas gift. Thank you very much, Jeanette, the angel of Goof On and Rich Saves America. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. Really, thank you. Yeah, if you guys want to help support during this time of year, what is it? Super Chat, Super Sticker, PayPal, Cash App. Become a member. Hey, Rich Saves America hit 5,000 subscribers yesterday. We now have 5,009. That was fun yesterday. 150,000 views. We had 1,500 people there yesterday. 1,469 to be exact. At one time. It's fun. It's nice to not be shadow banned. You want to see some old alien photos? This is weird. This is very weird. And, you know, you look at these, and all right, I want you to think of the Moomy Doomies. Jaime Maussan's Peruvian aliens, the ones that we see, you know, they look stupid. Think of those, and then look at this, what I'm about to show you, and think to yourself, maybe, right? So here we go. All right. I got this from Facebook. Yes. I started to go on Facebook for information just to see, because I don't like Facebook, but they had this. Yeah, can you shrink me down, please? Thank you. You know what I mean? I don't know what this is. I mean, you know, who? Seriously. Some are claiming this is KGB captured being somewhere in Russia. Doesn't it look like it? The Jaime Maussan Moomy Doomy. The eyes. Yes. Look at the outfit, though. It's so 1912. This is from a long time ago. This looks like 1912. It does. That's funny. Funny. Anyway, I wanted to show you that. Made me laugh. Made me laugh. Oh, Jean Guy. Oh, how you doing? That's weird. Oh my gosh. What the? Oh, I'm sorry. We got a show to do. There's just Facebook. You know. All right, let me get out of here. Boop. Get rid of this. No, not yet. Get rid of this. Is that 3i? Do aliens live on Mars? Still wondering this. There's this little doorway that was seen on an. What was this now? Yeah, let me pull it up. This is really crazy. This really does look like a door in a mountain. So it says here, do aliens live on Mars? Nothing to see here. You know how they just the NASA Curiosity rover inadvertently capturing what looks like a hidden doorway on Mars. Yeah, only 200 million miles away. Natural rock formation. Is it lighting illusion or something we're not meant to notice? Mars keeps its secrets well. Take a look. Look at this. I mean, seriously. That's cool as hell. Cool as hell. And there's a video. 15 seconds. Go. Sweet. Oh, it's nothing major. That is really amazing. How? Look at the lines, yo. Look at those. Those are straight 90-degree turns from this viewpoint. My God. And it looks like it would go right into this. Oh, I love it. I want to go to Mars, but I don't want to take the ride. God, can you imagine 6.5 months on that rocket? Not knowing if you're going to live or freeze to death in an instant. But that'd be a weird way to die, wouldn't it? Because you would still be alive for a little bit, and then everything just, it would be so painful. Oh, God, that would hurt so much. That's cool. That is a doorway on Mars. I think so. All right. So, yeah. Tim Burchett. Here, let me pull this up for you. What am I seeing here? You know, I see these conversations in the chat room and I just can't follow them because they go back for a few scrolls and I don't know when it started, what the context is. So I see some things I want to talk about, but I'm afraid to bring it up, so I'm not going to bring it up. So I'll just keep doing the show. And I don't want to get involved with the chat room right now. Scares me. Tim Burchett making the headlines, but says that, while he was in a Capitol tunnel, you hear this? You hear what I'm saying? A Capitol tunnel. Someone he knew and did not expect approached him and tried to steer him off the UFO issue, framing it as an apple cart. You don't want to upset. And suggesting that pursuing the truth could have consequences for religion and broader society. So what? Change is good. Good. He then pointed, look. Change happens all the time in history. Always. This isn't a bad thing. Understanding that we're not alone in the universe, that's God's plan, maybe. I don't get people. What the hell? Am I missing something? So Burchett goes on. He then pointed to something Representative Jared Moskowitz had remarked regarding this broader fight for transparency that there is a kind of elite arrogance at work, the assumption that the public is not mature enough to handle this reality, and that a small circle has the right to decide what the rest of us can handle. Burchett noticed they disagree politically, but he respects Moskowitz's clarity on this point. I strongly agree with that principle. In a democracy, information of this magnitude is not a privilege to be rationed by gatekeepers. Its officials can fund programs, move assets, and shape policy behind closed doors. They can also brief elected representatives and the public with appropriate care, context, and accountability. I thought that was Burchett at first. It wasn't. Intimidation, whether over a subtle, look at this. Intimidation, whether overt or subtle, has no legitimate place in this process. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Intimidation? That's what the conspiracy is based off of. The intimidation of the U.S. government, all governments, when it comes to UFOs and aliens. No, I know what they mean. Look, you're the government, right? You set up rules, laws, right? To protect who? The world, the people, right? And then you got some bozos who are coming out and talking about things they shouldn't, that they signed away their lives and said, we'll never talk about this in public without permission or written permission from the government itself. And then they want to go out and they talk to Dobson, and Dobson says you can say this, this, and this. Does that make sense to anybody? Not to me. So they go in and talk to Dobson. They give him some things they can and cannot say. And then, they still get in trouble like Rush. I never saw him get in trouble once. This is why I don't want the whistleblowers to keep doing what they're doing, because what they're doing is a bunch of bullshit. It's all window dressing. For what? For what? For what? It doesn't make sense. It's for the technology that China has the upper hand on. You heard me correct. China is kicking our ass in technology. In hypersonic, supersonic. And you ready? Alien. I don't know how they got ahead of us, but they did. They did. I want to hear what is being said on Weaponized here by people that are knowing, well, I don't know if they're in the know, but they know more than I do when it comes to what's going on in Congress before it comes out, before anybody does anything. They got the back room, behind the doors, scenes of, I don't know what the hell I'm saying. All right, let's get rid of this. And let me pull up this. Is it ready? Shh. Something's wrong. Okay.
There seems to be something that they use at the end to tell people like you guys, this is why we can't spill the beans on this topic.
I've had that deep throat moment, you know, the moment where at the Nixon thing where they come to you in an area, you know, it's and I always heard they always use somebody you know that's close to you, and I've had that moment. I was in the tunnel, and somebody that kind of shocked me, really came up to me and said, Burchett, said, do you really want to do this? You really want to upset this apple cart? And said that how it could affect, you know, religion and all this other stuff. And, you know, and I go back to Moskowitz. I don't know if y'all remember Jared Moskowitz in one of the opening press conferences. Jared, I'm jealous of his brain because he's got I mean, we don't agree politically on a lot of things, but his brain is incredible. And he said, you know, the arrogance of these people thinking that we can't handle this. It's not their job to decide what we can handle.
Yes, it is. We pay them for that. You know, we pay the government to keep secrets. I don't. Just thinking, where have we gone since? How far have we come with the Lou Elizondo addition to ufology in 2016? Because that's when this era, these last 10 years now, almost, the last decade, this is where it's gone because of him and others with him. What's different? Well, one thing, and the only thing that has changed since Lou Elizondo got here, and it took a decade almost, it took 8 years. And we waited 50 years for a UFO hearing. And we didn't even have any evidence. And if anybody calls that 0.8 tenths of a second evidence, then you're just part of the problem. It was the single worst example of transparency I have ever seen in ufology, and I'll tell you why. All the people, well, Grush, right? Basically, right? Wasn't it Grush? Grush was the first, I thought, 50 years. Told us things we already knew. Nothing new. Now, I know doing it that way in a hearing, a congressional hearing, that puts it into a different category of truth, right? It's seen, this whistleblower's been peer reviewed, looked at, analyzed, so good, so convincing that they put this person in front of the world for the first time in 50 years talking about aliens working alongside humans. And we've already known about it, though. We've heard these stories forever. I don't care if it's being put on record. That means absolutely nothing. Nothing. No, it does mean something. It means this much. So what? What has it done? It hasn't opened up any doors. You have other whistleblowers coming in saying the same story. I don't need the retelling of Superman. We know there's pilots. Stupid biologics. We know that. We know that they have the physical evidence, right? And there may be aliens that are alive still. And that we have back engineered technologies. And that's not it, though. But the problem that Grush has is the way it was handled. The taking of funds from one place and putting it to the black budget programs or whatever they wanted, that bothered him and made him upset. Among other things, you know, that was one of the big things. Like, when I look at David Grush, I look at, to me, he reminds me of a sad little boy like me that nobody listened to his whole life. And he finally had a chance to be heard. And this is what he chose. Are you kidding me? That's because David Grush didn't choose to do this. This is all part of the narrative, the script. That's it. And if you look at all the people that are involved in this, they all seem to have some sort of acting skills. Starting with Fravor, who had his own little Discovery special for a few weeks about Navy crewmen and shit. I don't know. Remember? And then a month later, he was doing the Nimitz report. 2 months later or whatever. It's amazing to me. It's like they were almost grooming him to be in front of a camera. Who else did we see doing shit like that? Yeah, I can't remember. Nobody. Grush. Didn't Grush do it? No. The guy at Arrow was sneaking into UFO places, right? UFO conferences. Such a weird, toxic environment ufology has become. And it's not even my fault. That's what's so beautiful. Everything imploded. Everything they did imploded. And everything they did failed. Failed. It's sad. But at least they're trying. All right, let me wake up a little bit and get something else going here. I feel like the show's come to a slowdown point. Let's move. Let's move. Abducted 60 times, this person, and recorded this. Oh, didn't I put it up here? How could this be? I'm going to talk about it. So, a man that was abducted by UFOs over 60 times recorded this. I think this is like 5 years ago. I don't know. Maybe you guys remember. I think this was through some trees, and I actually think this was part of a movie set. But he said, this is the recording. This is by far some of the best footage I've ever seen of a craft up close with occupants. And although it's in the dark, it's still very good quality, high quality. This is a reality that is happening to a small subset of the population. This is how they have evolved us so quickly over the past millions of years. By the way, millions of years? Stupid. Hundreds of thousands maybe, but not millions. Isn't this that? Oh, that music it's gotta go. Let's turn that off. Isn't this that video where the guy literally caught a movie set and he snuck up on it and he wasn't supposed to? Yeah, that's what this is. It kind of looks cool though, and I don't know what movie it's for. And, maybe that's just what people said this is. It could definitely be a UFO. I don't know. I never looked into it because I thought it was too good to be true, and usually it is. But this is awful, isn't it? Can't see anything. Awful. Just awful. Music. Ooh, God. Whoever made this, terrible. Why they would put the music in so loud. This is awful. I don't know what I'm looking at. Do you? Do you know what you're looking at? I mean, it could be anything. It could be a TV set. It could be a fish tank. Yeah, Yeah, that sucks. That is a video that went viral for all the wrong reasons. It's horrible. That's just not fun. See, that's not fun to me. Like, you go through all of that, and that's the best you could do. This is reality now. Now we're talking reality. Let's get into it. This is weird, what I'm about to show you. I want to make sure, because I don't think I titled for myself. This is a straight... Yeah, I did. So, this is from Hustle Bitch on X. A perfectly straight, ultra-dense anomaly suddenly appeared on weather radar stretching over 3,000 miles from the southwest, slicing clean through the deep south and continuing straight into the Atlantic directly through the Bermuda Triangle. Check this out. Oh my God. See, this is what I love. Hey, where's Into Thin Air, by the way? Haven't seen anything from him. And this wasn't a storm system. This wasn't a rain band. Let me show you the band. And then we'll come back to the...
spanning for over
Oh.
3,000 miles, as you're going
There
to
you
see
go.
here in just a moment. Check this out. I'm just going to let it play. I'll
What's up,
kind of
Christopher?
narrate as he's spanning through. And it indicates, if you look at that line right there, it's got a dark feature in the center, basically implying density. Like it's denser in the center than it is on the edges. That's how it computes rain density.
David!
The rain is denser when it's purple, it's lighter when it's green, and it's orange, yellow, and red when it's moderate. So the purple represents density if you're comparing it to VIL, vertical integrated liquid, water, rain. But look at this. This is the weirdest thing. Now, we've seen anomalies on radar before in the form of like big radar rings that show up from time to time. And they're usually from Doppler, but sometimes when they're over
So
300
weird.
miles long, it makes you wonder what they really are. But look at this. It extends all the way out into the Atlantic Ocean, goes across Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, out into Bermuda, basically through the Bermuda Triangle area, spanning over 3,000 miles. He had never seen anything like this before on his weather
at that.
radar. And we've all looked at weather radar at one point in time.
All right. I've been watching radar since its inception. What the hell is this? I'd never seen it. Anybody have any idea?
In our lifetimes, some of us every day. I'm one of those people that look at it every day. I can honestly say I've never seen anything like this. It is super weird. Went right through
Casey,
Savannah.
how are you? FAP.
Just south of Claxton. Seemed to break right there for whatever reasons, because again, we're not sure what we're looking at here. It seemed to be a little stronger in the Georgia area. See the purple?
This is crazy.
Montgomery, Alabama, Selma, Meridian,
I don't
through
understand.
Louisiana. That's Jackson, Mississippi, Vicksburg, now over into Shreveport, under Shreveport, south of Shreveport, went through Texas, went right over my head out here in Arizona. Yeah, through New Mexico, and then out into the Atlantic Ocean. Check it out. Went right over my head out here in Arizona. Yeah, we're over here in Phoenix and went right above Phoenix. What in the world did he catch on radar here? Is this some sort of a dismissible glitch that, you can't dismiss everything that shows up on these things as just a coincidental glitch. Was this caused by some sort of a power source? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. I'm just simply passing it along.
That's pretty weird. It is. It's weird. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Blasting frequency. I don't know what you guys. Did I see this? Let me pull it up. Let me copy this. Thank you, David. Pulling it up now. Here we go. Paste and go. Oh, wow. No. Hey, this is a good one. All right. David Wilcox throwing down a real good one here. So the title, Pilot Reports UFO Hovering Beside Jet, Leaving Air Traffic Control Stunned. Good luck with the aliens. This is crazy. You know what else is really weird before I talk about that? How many plane crashes are there? Every day. I'm reading about a military plane crash, postal plane crash in Malaysia, plane crash in China, Japan, Colombia. What's going on? Everywhere? All right, that's those DEI maintenance people. Didn't earn it. All right. So a pilot reports a UFO hovering beside its jet, and it left air traffic control stunned. I think there's a video here, so let's do that. It's about 4 minutes. Turn that all the way up. And 3, 2, and a goo. And a goo. Oh, it's not gooing. Oh, it's going. Ding, ding, ding. All right, we've got a All right, I'll keep that commercial off. When it comes back on, I'll turn it on. This is going to be good. I can't believe Christmas is only a few days away. Wow, this is a long commercial. Oh, 10 more seconds. Here we go. Anyway, I want everybody to be safe out there. Here we go in 3, 2, 1.
Well, today is the spookiest day of the year, and what better way to get a thrill than trying to catch a glimpse of an alien? New data revealing Washington State is the best place to be to get a chance at seeing extraterrestrial life.
Here to break it down, former UK Ministry
That's
of
not
Defense and
true.
UFO expert Nick.
Oh, by the way, thank you, David Wilcox, for the PayPal support for the Christmas. Thank you very much. If you guys want to help support me, the Goof on Rich Saves, all the links are in the show description. Thank you very much, David Wilcox, not Wilcox. All right, back to the video. Mucho gusto, generoso. Go. Uh-oh, I hit the wrong frickin' one. Go. We have to watch that again, that ad. I think I messed up.
Now the nest on the limb and the limb.
7 seconds. It's in Spanish too, this commercial.
Imagínatelo. Well, today is the spookiest day of the year, and what better way to get a thrill than trying to catch a glimpse of an alien? New data revealing Washington State is the best place to be to get a chance at seeing extraterrestrial life.
Here to break it down, former UK Ministry of Defense and UFO expert Nick Pope. Nick, Washington 1, Oregon 2, Pacific.
Wow. Nick Pope looks old. Wow.
Pacific Northwest seems to be where these aliens like to go, but I'm sure there's a better reason.
Wow.
What is it?
Well, I think there are a lot of variables here, and I think it might have something to do with the sort of outdoorsy nature of those states up in the Northwest. You know, big, clear, open skies, a lot of people out hiking, sky watching. So more people out looking around at things, more things get seen.
Yeah, Nick, you know, I think if someone said, I believe that aliens are walking around among us, I believe that there's UFOs in our airspace, a lot of people would say you're crazy. What do you think?
Well, I think this subject has come out of the fringe and into the mainstream recently. I mean, we have hearings in Congress about this now. We have the newly formed task force on the declassification of federal secrets. They're going to be looking at UFOs. And of course, just very recently, the vice president made some fairly open-minded comments about this in a situation where this subject used to be an absolute third rail for politicians.
Yeah, J.D. Vance, literally to your point, coming out and saying, I have to, as vice president, help get to the bottom of this. I have to imagine that definitely removes the stigma about saying, hey, I saw something, I'm going to say something. Speaking of something, this could be something. Interstellar visitor 3I Atlas making a mysterious move toward the sun in what people are calling a cosmic turning point. Those people could have just been our producers, but I'm going to say it anyway. The expectation is that this thing should break up when it goes to the sun because the sun has...
Is this report about the UFO on the video, or am I having to read the story? Because right now we're getting a twofer, I think, but I'll keep watching this because it's interesting, of course. It's always interesting to me to hear what these folks in mainstream media think about UFOs and aliens. So we'll keep doing this, and then I'll see about the UFO hovering next to a jet.
We know, very, very hot. Things go near it, they break up. But if it remains intact and moves away from the sun, that could be a sign of extraterrestrial intelligence. What do you think it's going to do, Nick?
Well, the simplest explanation is that it probably will turn out to be an interstellar comet. Hugely interesting in its own right, of course. But yeah, I'm watching this story very closely. If it does do anything really unusual and it proves to be technological, it will be the biggest story in history. But if nothing else, look, this has got everyone thinking.
Oh, thank you very much, Samantha Morris the cat. Thank you for becoming a member again or re-upping. Thank you, and I hope you have a nice Christmas. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you, Samantha Morris there. Oh. Mucho gusto, generoso.
About this as a possibility. And that ties in, as I say, with the fact that this whole subject is now viewed not as kind of conspiracy theory or science fiction, but as a serious defense and national security issue.
Yeah, there is a debate taking place right now within the scientific community over this thing, 3I Atlas. Some people say it's a comet. Other people think it's something else. They think it could be a spaceship. Why do some people think it's that?
Well, I think there are some unusual things about its speed, its trajectory, the fact that comets usually have a tail pointing away from.
No! He's not being honest. People think it's not a comet, but an alien, or it could be a mothership, a UFO, because of Avi Loeb. That's the only reason. Let's say Avi Loeb never said anything about alien or intelligence. When 3I Atlas shot out the reverse tail, it should be going in one direction according to them. They would have never said, oh, this could be an intelligence, and they would have said, you know why this is happening? Because there's probably some pressurized gases in this portion. And with it spinning, I'm not really sure if we're seeing it coming out both ends, or is it really just one end, but it's spinning fast and it looks like, it's coming out both ends. That's what they would have said. Nobody would have ever thought about aliens if nobody said it. Maybe they would have thought it, but nobody would have said it. Avi Loeb broke that barrier between saying something that is a real possibility to something that has never been seen or proven to make that possibility. Like, why would he even say such a thing? Makes no sense. The only thing I can think is that he wanted to be the first one to say it just in case. Just in case. Hey, Richard, screw you.
From the sun as they approach. This one had a sort of anti-tail. But if we were sending a probe to another solar system, this is kind of probably exactly what we would do: a close flyby of the planets, and then see what happens.
Ooh.
So yeah, I'm watching very closely.
I think you said the key thing, though. If this story turns out to be not just a piece of space junk that's going to burn up and it turns into something, it will be the greatest story, biggest story of our lifetime. And Nick, we're sure to have you back. We will book you again if it becomes
don't do
a
any other shows.
Yeah, right. This is
the
our
one
show.
if this thing happens.
Okay. So this is just a story, not the video on the pilot. So let me pull this back up. Okay, that's weird. Here we go. That's good. No, I'm glad we watched that. Now I'll talk about the pilot seeing he discovers a hovering silver cylinder UFO next to his jet. Here we go. Get me up there. Can you put me up to the top, please? Thank you. Yeah, it's in the story. Yeah, the pilot of a plane reportedly made an eerie discovery while flying thousands of feet over Rhode Island, marking the latest in unexplained encounters, baffling both experts and civilians alike. Newly resurfaced video shared on YouTube in October by the VAS Aviation channel reveals the head-scratching moment the pilot radioed to the ground team at Rhode Island TF Green International Airport regarding a mysterious small silver cylinder hovering near the wing of his aircraft telling ATC it appears to be standing still. Looks like a strange, small object that we just floated by, the pilot told air traffic control. According to the clip, a small silver canister. Do you know what that could be? Says the pilot. Air traffic control went on to inform the pilot there were no other reports regarding an object in the area and asked the pilot if it could be a drone or balloon. I saw nothing attached to it. Oh, wait. I saw nothing attached to it, the pilot responded, according to the clip. It was sort of hovering there. It was astonishing. I don't know what it was. The object was reportedly seen floating near the right wingtip of the Piper PA 32RT-300T Turbo Lance 2 at an altitude of 3,500 feet before flying alongside the aircraft and later disappearing from view. Oh, wow. Ooh, creepy, the ground team can be heard saying on the radio, with ATC joking, "Good luck with aliens." Other pilots quickly took to the radio to join in on the mystery as one added, "I want to believe him." Of course he does. The FAA documents UAP sightings whenever a pilot reports one to air traffic control facility. The FAA said in a statement to Fox News Digital, if supporting information such as radar data corroborates the report, the FAA shares it with the UAP task force. Woo! Baby, baby, come on, show me, maybe, baby, what you got for me. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-ah. Where is the clippity-doo-dah? Is this it? I got it. Let me pull it up. We got a video from the story I just told you. We're gonna watch it and behold you. We're gonna watch it go before you. Boop, boop, ba-doop. We got poop in the sky. Poop in the sky.
Shuttle 684 for left heading 310. 310, Shuttle 684.
It's a strange small object that we just flew by, a small silver canister. Do you know what that could be?
49er Kilo, we've had no reports in that area. What altitude and direction is it heading?
Go!
It appears to be standing still. I'm at 3,500 feet. It was right off our wingtip. Small silver canister.
Could it be a balloon?
Roger, thanks. Do you think it's a drone or is it like a balloon type?
I saw nothing attached to it. It was sort of hovering there. It was astonishing. I don't know what it was.
Creepy.
I want to believe.
Chronos 402, contact approach on 125.75.
Yeah, I love that. That was so funny the way he said it too. Watch.
It was astonishing. I don't know what it was.
Creepy.
I want to believe.
I want to believe. Aww.
Chronos 402, contact approach on 125.75.
So do we.
25.5, Chronos 402. Good luck with the aliens.
84 clear visual approach on 823 contact tower.
Clear vision 23 over tower 6342.
Yeah. 503 Star Papa, altitude 0 to correction traffic, you're following 6 mile left base, up here E175, go showing turbulence.
Following the E175, see looking for the traffic, 503 Sierra Papa.
Damn. Interesting. Hey, that was fun. Thanks, David. Thanks for the PayPal. Jeanette, thanks for the PayPal. Yeah, that was fun. I've got some more stuff here to talk about. Wait a minute. Let me see if this is worth talking about. Spielberg, in the movie Disclosure Day, talks about vaccines and how you have to take your vaccines, I think. Look, oh, okay, here. I found it. No. See, Spielberg is a hard leftist. I don't like this Shiite. Like Spielberg's films, many of the X-Files series carried most predictive sci-fi knowledge that later we learned was actually reality. Disclosure Day appears not to include aliens, as we would expect, but we can see in the eyes and hear in the voices that some humans are not quite what they appear. Last week, Jason Giorgiani claimed U.S. intel agencies are actually the Fourth Reich, built from former Nazi scientists and spies. If this is really true, then the video clip below raises a terrifying question of whether Spielberg's plot could be closer to fact than fiction.
In 1947, a spacecraft was reportedly recovered in New Mexico.
Say
no doubt
word.
you know of this, and of the reported recovery of a body at the site. These incidents coincided with not only the end of World War II,
I have
but
to
an
shrink
ignominious
this, guys.
project which brought Nazi scientists and war criminals to this country to exploit their knowledge.
Operation Paperclip.
Yes, you
Is this seems like AI? I don't remember this.
know of it already, and you must also know of the work of Dr. Joseph Mengele,
Werner von Braun.
Nazi angel of death.
Mengele thought that he could produce a super race through genetic engineering.
Werner von Braun, right?
As did many of his colleagues at the Institute of Hereditary Biology and Racial Hygiene.
Like Victor.
The Institute of Hereditary Biology and Hygiene. Say word.
Klemper?
Poor Victor. He loved
great.
his orchids. Did you know that he was able to create some of the most beautiful hybrids?
Klemper was trying to create an alien-human hybrid. That's what I saw in the boxcar. He was using human test subjects.
Mulder, wait.
My father was involved in this?
The technology wasn't there, Mulder. DNA wasn't even identified until 1944. This is all a lie.
When your father
Yeah, I can get in trouble for playing this. All right, I can't play anymore. That's Fox, Mulder. That's Fox TV. You know, those are really strict rules and laws against playing that. That's from X, so it wasn't on YouTube. I took a chance right there. Surprised we didn't get shut down. Frig. We're going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to end it here. Thank you all for hanging out. Yeah, I got so much to go over, but tomorrow will be better because the next topic is just, it's too much. I can't do it in 10 minutes. Yeah. 8 minutes. But thank you very much, everybody, for hanging out. Now, tomorrow is Christmas Eve. Yes, we'll be here. Yeah, we should be here. That's right. If I am not here, I promise I'll post it. We should be here. Let me take a look at, I want to see something. Oh my God, why is I'm getting agita. Oh, I got another PayPal. I bet you it's Nathan. Samantha. Oh, wow. Thank you very much. Samantha I rounded up $10. You're so sweet. Thank you very much for the, and re-upping your membership. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for the Christmas gift too. Thanks everybody. That was sweet. Yeah, a continuing supporter of Goof On you are, Samantha. And I hope you and your family and everybody here will have a good Christmas if you're not here tomorrow. And if for any reason I'm not here. Now, Christmas Day, I might do a show at 7 o'clock. We'll see. I don't know. I may post a video tomorrow for everybody. Like a Christmas thing. Yeah, so I mean Thursday. We'll see. I'm trying to do different things, but it doesn't work out all the time. All right. Moderators, super chatters, newcomers, and beginners, thank you very much for being here. Thanks for keeping that chat room hyppity hoppity. Do we have do we have one? Hold on. I thought there was I could have sworn that I put a poll up. All right. Guess I didn't. All right. And look, guys, for ufology, if you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out for ufology. You know what I mean? Forget about your phone for when you're walking around outside. Take a minute, look around, put on those nice polarized glasses, 400 UV protection. Forget about it. You're going to see things, your head's going to spin, you're going to record them, and we're all going to win. It rhymed. I had nothing left. All right, we're going to get out of here with that intro song I played. Yeah, 1776. I'll just continue where we left off. Yeah, it's only about 30 seconds left, if that. Sorry, yeah, I like it. I really enjoy that song. That's just me. I'm an American. And I'm proud. Yeah, I'll back it up a few seconds. Now, this part's cool, actually. All right. All right, we'll see you guys on the next one. And Alien Bless. Yeah, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Am I forgetting something?
76, lightning, thunder, iron, and grit. Every musket, every fist. I am 1776. Oh, 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 oh. I am 1776. I am 1776.